Monday nights, we live. You don't feel season. That's right. Snap decision. You already know what it is. Yeah. Snap decision, yeah, we call it how we see it. You feel talk, yeah, you know we never keep a secret. Styling to the heart, yeah, we break it all down. Monday night, turn it up, yeah, we run this town.
Yep.
I really need to redo that intro. It is so abrupt.
They just got faded out.
Yeah,
No.
just a little bit. We'll get it updated soon. Well, happy Monday, y'all.
Back at our normal time. For me, back at my normal place. I'm not, in Port Mansfield with 1 bar of signal. So yeah.
Oh yeah, it was fun, but it was rough without you guys. Just a little. I ain't gonna lie. But this weekend, I don't know. The games were on point.
Man,
I don't know about you guys, but
this is the best weekend so far of all the games. I mean, it's week 3, so it's still early, but yeah, by far like the best weekend for football they've had this season.
oh, very nice. We just got a little chat going on here. Anywho, yeah, it was really good. And DJ finally got to go to a game. He went to the first home game. So it was the first home game, right?
This year, yes.
This season.
Yeah, I was about to say.
That's what I'm talking about.
But that was the first. Yeah,
what
that was the
other
first
season
home
am
game.
I talking about?
We had the XFL 2020.
Crazy.
I went to that. I went to DC there.
We're UFL, bro.
DC when they played the Vipers.
Lord.
What are you talking about? 5 years ago, man. Come on.
I know.
But yes, the
In the
official
past.
home game. Yes. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Wow.
So how was it for
It was fun. We was in the end zone. I guess 2 rows behind
opposite the beer snake end zone?
Yeah, opposite of the beer snake. Okay. Yeah. And it was fun. Like I agree with you guys said. I think it was maybe a two podcasts ago when we was talking about the fan experience inside the stadium is not the same as what we used to, especially like in the Alamo Dome or what I'm used to experiencing in the Alamo Dome. They had this little band going, the Defenders.
I saw that.
Band. Yeah.
They look like they had like 2 like a walking, I don't know, it was like a 5-piece or something.
Yeah, it was 5 guys. 5 guys. That's crazy. It was like about maybe 4 or 5 guys.
You said that as soon as my food got here before the show started, just to make me even more hungry.
Maybe like 4 or 5 guys on like snares and the little drum sets. Then they have a dance team, sort of like how we had in San Antonio, but they have pom poms. I didn't know if did we have pom poms in San Antonio?
Yes.
I don't remember the girls having pom poms. Okay.
They did.
So yeah, their dance team had pom poms, and something like I said, something like San Antonio. I'm trying to think what else. They had the fireworks going.
I wonder if the drum line, because we saw that in Dallas too. I wonder if that's something maybe they're doing for all the teams.
Could be.
I
the
mean,
halftime show was
Renee would know.
Yeah, the halftime show.
I ain't gonna lie.
The
halftime show, we didn't realize. I mean, like, I didn't know who the person was, and I kept saying, I was like, "Is it Wale?" And then not until the last song, I was like, "Oh, I didn't know it was him." And then,
how can y'all know Ludacris but not Wale?
I don't know. Because Ludacris is a collaborator.
I didn't know his music.
It's not comparable. It's not comparable, though, but I'm just saying, like, you can know Ludacris. So do you know Gucci Mane?
How long has Wale been around? I guess.
Okay, so do you know Big Sean? Do you know Kendrick Lamar? Do you know?
He came out around the same time.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well, I know nothing about him.
They toured together when he first came out, but he's been on the radio. I'm sure of y'all. So you ain't know none of the songs.
Just the last one.
Wow. Okay. So he got a song with Usher. He got a song with Chris Brown. He got a song
Oh,
No
dang.
Hands, the No Hands song with Walker.
Oh, I know that one.
Gospel Dash. Yeah.
Dang,
So
you know
that's
that one? I
one.
didn't even know.
That's
What?
one.
See, I only knew one, and it was the last one.
But he has a ton. A lot of them are solo, but most of the songs that you hear on the radio are like him featuring like Jeremiah, him and Jeremiah. So
Collabs.
yeah, collabs, the ones that's on the radio.
Mm.
But yeah, he's big, definitely. Everybody in the
Hey, mama.
area knows him.
Yeah, you can see. They kind of panned over to the crowd. You can see everybody was getting into it. I mean, I like Luda a lot. It was probably my favorite artist. But like Wale's show was just it was a lot more kind of entertaining and catered to the crowd. Kind of getting the crowd involved. Bring in not just Brahma Babe up on stage, but the chick that was on the other side, and like
I wouldn't know though. Like, how did it feel seeing her get pulled up there?
You know what's crazy? So
like you're I know her.
I know we got stories. I got stories, but it's crazy because my son wanted pizza for we always get up at halftime and he go get food. So my son wanted pizza. We walk around damn near the half of the stadium. They didn't have pizza. They only had one pizza place. They didn't have pizza. So we had to walk all the way back. And he was like, "Oh, I'll just take a hot dog." I'm like, "Bro, they had a hot dog right here." So by the time, and then I noticed Wale,
leave my friend alone.
His show was the shortest. I noticed that, or maybe it was me.
I felt like it was, but I also felt like maybe he left early too. Like,
because there was 5 more minutes left on the halftime clock when we got back to our seats. I'm like, wait,
so but they cut out the broadcast while he was still going on. Like he was still talking, he was still doing stuff. So I don't know if he played after that. Maybe not. Maybe he was wrapping it up. But they cut to a commercial, and he was still like talking and stuff on there.
No, we got back to our seats, he was done, and that was it. Like I was like, wait, there's 5 minutes left. The counter on that little big screen was counting down. I'm like, wait, there's still 5 minutes left. Right? He could have did a couple more songs, but I don't know how it was going for the broadcast wise. But where we were sitting at, he was like down a little further from us and underneath some type of little like a tent or in a cut. Like I'm like, we can't even see him, so we had to look at the big screen.
boo!
I think whoever had wristbands was able to get down on the ground, on the field and stuff. It was crazy. But the story is funny. The story about Brahma Babe, right? So
it's always gonna be funny.
My father-in-law saw her on TV. We watched on Easter Sunday. We watched
the
Luda game. Yeah. So I was like, "Oh, that's Renee. I see Renee." He was like, "Wait, you know her?" I was like, "Yeah, she super fan. Brahma super fan." So I pulled up on my phone. I pulled all the pictures and all that. He was like, "Oh, she get dressed up." I was like, "Yeah, she get dressed up." So he was like, "Oh, okay." So I was just giving them rundown about Brahma Babe and all that stuff. How she's a good person and big on the community stuff, big with the UFL stuff. And then it was crazy. I was like, yeah, she cheerleader for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then when I mentioned it to her, she was like, yeah, not the Jaguars, but something sort of like, she said, just run with that. I was like, all right, cool.
Jacksonville Sharks, the indoor football team.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I said she's all into like the dancing and the cheering and all that stuff because he saw her dancing and all that stuff. He was like, oh yeah, she's doing her thing. I was like, yeah. So when we got to the stadium where we were sitting at, we could see off to I think they was in the y'all. I think she was in the seats that y'all was in when y'all went, but
on the ground.
Yeah. So I was like, oh shoot, there go Renee. And he was like, wait, the girl you showed me from the I was like, yeah, on TV. And then I called her on Facebook Messenger and I was like, Renee, we right here. We waving, and then and mind you, I'm with.
Is that with the pictures?
Yes.
The pictures of her when she's like.
Yeah, I'm with my son, my father-in-law, and my uncle, which is his brother, uncle-in-law, if you want to call it. And then when she waved at us,
I never heard of
all
uncle-in-law.
of us. I know all of us waved. I'm like, y'all didn't even know her. But yeah, we didn't get a chance to meet, like, close up, take pictures and stuff like that because my son was ready to go. We were trying to beat traffic, and then I was developing a headache. I forgot to take Advil before the game. I'm so mad.
Man,
Yeah.
it's 'cause
Rookie
we weren't there.
mistake.
We weren't there.
How
you know?
many years have you been doing this? And you,
I know.
the rookie
I thought it would be
mistake, bro?
fine, but the weather was beautiful. Sun was
It
out.
was. I
crowd
saw it
was
bearing
going.
down. Like I was like, that beer snake is probably hot.
It was hot. It was hot. But it was fun though. It was fun. It's good to be back home. Just the vibes and stuff like that. It was cool.
And,
How
I mean
was
that
the
that
stadium?
crowd
'Cause,
was
like-
into it. I mean, especially, you won by 38 points. So, but I mean, the whole time the crowd's chanting, "We want 50," and like, I mean, the whole time, dude, they were there, they were into it, they were loud. Like it was just an awesome crowd to just, witness watching it.
had the
I
wave
didn't
going.
imagine like just being there.
Not the wave.
The wave was, but we was up enough where we was like, all right, cool.
It was okay. We'll
Yeah,
participate.
Yeah, we was cool. It was cool.
Well, that's
Yeah,
cool.
everything's
I'm
fun.
glad that you got to enjoy a game. Like, I mean, it was fun just going to the first home game also for the Renegades. So cool. I'm glad you enjoyed it. But can we talk about these games? Because
Let's talk about them.
Yeah.
Well, we just mentioned a
Okay.
DC game, so
So how
We
about
did talk
the
about
first
that
one though? Orlando and Louisville.
oh man,
Louisville. The Louisville.
last play. It came down to
all
the
I gotta
last
say
play.
is that has to like watch the video of Beck like we won. Everyone's like they just like blinking at him, but he was just like, "What the hell is going on?" Like even I was so confused, but I feel like he was disappointed because that's how he won.
Yeah.
But he was like, "We'll take
You
the W."
have to even winning. You're like, that kind of
You gotta
sucks.
take what you got.
You know, it's a crappy way to
It
win.
was a shootout though. Like
Yeah.
they
So-
could not. None of them could not like just. They could just not connect at all. It was just crazy. I'm like, oh my god, this is going. Like, when is it gonna end?
It was
Yeah.
It's gonna
good.
keep going.
So obviously, I was out on a fishing trip, and so I was enjoying myself quite a bit. I had to go back and watch the game kind of afterwards because I was kind of like in and out, falling asleep and stuff during it. So I'd heard the way it ended. Defensive penalty, all that stuff, and so when I went back to go rewatch it, I was thinking that it was a back-to-back on the same play defensive penalty, because that's how the NFL has a rule like that. Like if you're at a goal line and stuff like that, you've got a defensive team that's jumping off sides, not letting the offense get set, stuff like that. They can award a touchdown. They threatened the Commanders with that a couple years ago
Louisville
with
was
the
doing it,
Eagles. Because they were trying to stop the tush push, and so they kept jumping off sides. And they came out and said, if you commit a penalty again, we're going to award a touchdown. That is a thing. So I thought it was something along those lines, like, hey, there was a penalty, and then the next, after the assessment of the penalty, they ran a play, and then there was another penalty. That wasn't the case. This was a penalty on the possession before, and then another penalty. And then I went back and looked in the rules, and it says 2 penalties in the entire overtime period by the defense, which is absolutely
has this
ridiculous.
been around the
It
whole
has.
time?
I went back to all the years of the UFL and year 1 of the
Interesting.
XFL, and it's been the rule is written the exact same way the entire time. So
Yep. And Rapoli even addressed it afterwards and said that
Yeah.
it's not necessarily a rule that he agrees with. He didn't really think much about it, obviously, because it hadn't really been an issue until now, and he says that it's a horrible rule. And I don't know if they're going to be able to change it mid-season, but don't
think you
expect it to
can.
be around
Yeah.
next season. It'll be
I-
But
I
isn't
don't know
it for
if-
the safety of the players? That's the whole reason why it's there, so that they don't keep.
It's so
That's what I
the-
heard.
It's so the defense doesn't extend the game, just like committing stupid penalties.
Yeah.
Just to I'm going to get burned on this play, so let me grab the receiver so he can't make a play. They don't want that to extend the game. Now, apparently, that's how Birmingham lost their overtime game last year. I
remember
don't.
that.
I don't remember that, but I heard a
Neither
lot of
do
people
I.
say it. And like I was talking to you guys in our chat, I'm pretty sure our overtime game against Memphis, they mentioned it on the broadcast. It didn't, there wasn't a point awarded because of a second penalty, but I remember hearing them say, "Hey, if there's another penalty, the Memphis will be awarded a score." I think, but that was a year ago. Who knows? I've slept a couple times since then.
So changing the rule
I guess it was
is
just a
definitely doable.
surprise.
Yeah,
It's
but I
doable
mean,
because
but
I've
that,
seen it happen before.
even that
Yeah, I've
was
seen it happen before.
in the game like that was absolutely surprising as hell. And
Yeah.
I think if it had happened maybe like the first or second, drive or the second play of the overtime, and it kind of got to play out a little more, people wouldn't have been kind of as upset about it. But because that's the way the overtime ended, it left a real bad taste in everyone's mouth.
But I think it was also because like Louisville was almost there. Like they were like neck and neck. Like it would have been their first win, right? And it would have been at home. Like, yeah. So I see like both sides. Like, dang, that's such a sucky way to lose, but also a sucky way to win. Like, you win by default, not because you played well.
If I was
because you earned
Louisville,
it.
I'd be pissed. And if I'm Orlando, I don't feel great. Like I said, I don't feel great about
Yeah.
that.
I saw
like-
his face, and then he was like, "We won," but he looked stupid. That's all I gotta say. He looked ridiculous, like chanting to the team, and everyone else was like, "What is going on?" So I don't know, but the game was really good overall. Like our first, tie and overtime in the season, so it was good. And but just to end that way, and then to get slapped with the rule, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's been a rule." Like I didn't realize it was a rule because it just never happened before. So that's wild.
But in XFL 2020, and that's why I made a comment on Twitter as well. It's doable now. If they want to do that, that's on them. But it happened in XFL 2020, even though that season was only 5 games. But I remember when Vince McMahon came out and he made a rule change after maybe like 2 or 3 games, if I can remember correctly. But I don't remember what the rule was, but it has happened. But Vince McMahon, he gonna
he gonna do whatever he want to do.
Yeah. So,
I mean, Rapoli's the same way too. So
yeah.
But I think it's Rapoli's kind of the face of the league right now, but he's not the only decision maker. So they've got a board of directors and an approving group that it needs to go through first before they could do that. But I wouldn't be surprised if they, attempted to do something, but.
I mean, that's not a big rule though. Like you could just change maybe the overtime periods. Like if it's whenever you're doing a shootout period, maybe 2 back-to-backs, and then maybe in the sudden death period, maybe 2 back-to-back. Like because you can't really the whole overtime period. You're going into the shootouts, and then you're going into the sudden death. Like that's 2 different overtime periods.
So I'm going to counter what you're saying just from the simple fact of we made the comparison to Vince McMahon, which, yes, Vince McMahon, kind of a wild card there when it comes to any kind of spring league football, anything like that, right? XFL was not really necessarily designed to be a professional spring football like what we're looking at with the UFL. It was much more of a gimmick with the whole he hate me and all that kind of stuff. It's much more about the shock and awe of the game than it was the actual game itself, right? Rapoli is the face of the league. He's also probably primary shareholder, so he's going to have a lot more pull. I just don't see them changing a rule like that in the middle of the season because there's already been enough change that has happened with the 4-point field goals and the 1 foot in bounds and all these other things. I don't think that they're going to want to rock the apple cart, so to speak, and change something that obviously decided the outcome of one game and could then affect games later on. If we have another shootout and they get rid of that game, Louisville can easily refer back to this game and be like, look how we got cheated, right?
I can see that. Oh, hey, we got screwed in our game. Kind of
To
we
keep
need
it fair
let
across the
everybody else
board.
get screwed for the rest of the
Right.
season, like we do. You know,
I mean, maybe not mid-season, but possibly next season. I mean, but it's a rule.
Yeah, next season it's gone.
I
Yeah.
agree that it should be. It's a rule that needs to be changed. Honestly, it had the
I-
whole
I-
world.
I don't know.
Not gone, adjusted.
I don't think
Oh,
it needs to
adjusted,
be gone,
adjusted.
but
Okay.
I would agree with a back-to-back penalties in the same in the same like possession, so something like that.
But
Hey,
how
yeah,
do you do back-to-back penalties if it goes back and forth after one play?
no, like if say Orlando had the ball, Louisville committed a holding penalty, they mark half the distance to the goal, they play again, they do another
Uh-huh.
play if Louisville commits another penalty on that next play.
You mean like consecutive penalties?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Understood.
During the same try, like
Yeah.
like you said.
Yeah.
But so the two penalties that was called, I believe one was a DPI and the second was a holding, right?
Yeah, it was second
Mhm.
defensive holding.
That's kind of okay. I just think maybe if it was two DPIs and I'm like, okay, cool. Holding, you should have see that holding. Okay, cool. Call
But it's
holding.
still a
move the ball up
penalty.
little bit. Yeah, but if it was two DPIs called back to back, and I'm like, okay, cool, I get it. But if it's a DPI then a holding, okay, move the ball closer.
Yeah,
But is that still a penalty though? At the end of the day,
giving,
it's still a penalty.
Well,
you're
I thought
giving
because
you're
he
giving
said
the
it was-
offense
it was
another
the
try,
same
and
penalty.
that's what they're trying to
Same
avoid.
penalties.
You
I
know,
thought it was the
they're
same
trying to
penalty.
avoid the defense.
Yeah.
Just again, getting beat on a play, reaching out, grabbing, holding. Okay, cool. We'll just move half the distance, and we've got another shot to try and.
It's
stop
supposed to be quick.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be quick because they're running into the next TV time. Also, so I
Yeah.
guess.
Not a fan.
I mean,
Okay.
but it like how
Yeah.
often? How long have we been doing this now? This is like the first time that we've really actually seen it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. In the what?
I don't see it.
years now, 4 years.
Yeah,
the
4
first time we've
years.
seen
XFL.
I mean, yeah,
I've
we
never-
were part of what 2 overtime games that we were at, so
Mhm.
it
I
didn't
just-
come
I
into
just-
play then.
I just agree with. I mean, I get it and I understand it, but I just agree with a lot of feedback that I was reading over the weekend. Is like, don't allow a play like that to end the game if it wasn't an actual touchdown. And I got it. You called it in the NFL with Louisville keep jumping over. Like that's intentional.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But Louisville, he was the guy for the Commanders kept jumping over the line to stop the tush push and all that. So that's intentional. Okay, cool. You doing that on purpose. So that's an automatic. But if
And it was also after like the fourth one too.
Yeah,
it wasn't,
so
it wasn't the second one. It was like third or fourth. They're like, all right,
But they
y'all
get
knock
4
this crap
tries.
out or we're gonna award a touchdown.
they get 4 tries, but
Yeah.
we only 2. Like on the second,
Right.
that's crazy.
Well,
But it is.
And so here's the other difference. Going back to your example, the Commanders, I believe it was, that was committing, right?
Yeah.
They did get a warning, and it was specifically, you do this again, right? You're gonna cost your team 6 points. Maybe that's what the new rule is going to look like next year, or maybe. Well, no, I don't want to. I don't think
can't-
that they would
That's
change
not
that.
the same though. Being
Did they get a
intentional and jumping
warning?
up the line opposed to
Yeah.
a hold
well,
on defense? That's 2 different things.
Who?
Like, did the coach get like so when they got their first penalty during the shootout?
For the
Did they tell the
Commanders?
coach? Or
no,
did
no, you're
no
talking
in
about
this
Louisville.
game, the actual game?
I don't think so.
Like,
I don't
did they
think
get a
so.
warning
They didn't
saying,
say-
"Hey"?
I don't know.
I don't
No.
feel like
No,
they did.
actually,
I feel
no,
like
I guarantee
maybe
you
something
they
like
didn't.
that.
But a lot of people
guarantee
didn't know the
they did it
rule. A lot
because-
of people didn't know the rule.
Because
Yeah, I mean, like they could
Blandino
have
had to
announced
tell
it,
the
but
official that was the
Yeah.
rule and that the game was over. Even
Exactly.
the official was
Like-
like, "Wait, what? Like,
Right.
okay,
Yeah.
they got a penalty. The game's
everyone
over."
was confused.
Okay,
But I think maybe
Mhm.
it's like adjusting those type of rules and being like, okay, they need to be warned, so not everyone that's
Yeah,
watching
I
is
agree with that.
thoroughly
I agree with
confused. Something
I
like
agree
that,
with
like okay, you're getting a warning. Don't forget, like now, even
Yeah.
announcing it to the
Right.
crowd, like
I agree
like
with that.
after
Like,
this,
what they did,
they've been charged one penalty. After a second
Mhm.
one, it's automatic touchdown for so and so.
right?
That simple.
And that's the way. I mean, regardless of we could go back and forth on how where they should actually call it. But that really should kind of be what it is, right? With a rule like that, you're going to want to get ahead of it and warn the offending team, hey guys, you're messing up. You do it again, you cost your team 6 points in the game. So I don't know. like I said before, I don't know that Rapoli is going to change it midstream like this season, but you can
Yeah, I don't
definitely
see that
expect that
either.
game to be, or that rule to be revised. Uh, Probably at the end of the season, there'll probably will be an announcement.
No,
Just because
that'll be
that
the
is a
first
hot
rule that's
button issue.
changed.
Yeah,
And,
well, it's a
or
hot
they'll do
button
it
issue.
like for next season, like when
Oh,
they
yeah.
put out the new rules and stuff like, and the things that are no longer allowed. So like the no tush push.
Yeah.
So
Which
it'll
I
be
think is
interesting to
absolutely
see.
hilarious that anytime there's a short yardage play, they talk about how it's not allowed. Yet I've never seen that play attempted in any time watching any UFL, XFL games. I've never seen a team
It's
attempt
an
it.
eaglet thing. That's why.
Yeah. But they always got to let us know that it's not allowed. Like nobody's ever tried it, but it's not allowed.
Yep.
Oh, well, let's move on because the next game was just as
We already
good.
talked about you.
Oh yeah, we already talked about you, girl. You're way late. We already talked about you.
You got to rewind.
Being up there, shaking your booty, all of that good stuff.
Getting a solo.
Anywho, yeah, getting more airtime than anybody else in the UFL is
more
wild.
airtime than Luda, more airtime than Wale.
Got random people coming up to her, asking to sign stuff, like just crazy.
Sheesh. It's more popular than the halftime show. I mean, they should have. Hopefully, they just put her for the championship halftime show.
I promise you, every time I looked over at her seat, she was signing something. I'm like, she probably can't even enjoy the game. It was.
I mean, she at least she didn't have like it wasn't like the Brahmas playing, like she didn't have to focus. So that's a good piece of it. But anywho, so Aviators and the Renegades. So that game had me worried too, y'all. Like at first, the Renegades looked terrible.
Yeah,
they
that
looked
first
terrible.
quarter.
I was like, oh man. But
Yeah,
wait, before we even get into this game, let's talk about this coach. What in the world? Like what? Like okay, I'm like okay. So what happens now? Does he like do like announcement like I'm leaving the UFL to go to rehab? Like what? Like did he sit in jail the entire time because it was the weekend? I have so many questions.
Well,
I mean, there's no judge on the weekends.
He made a an official statement or whatever through the the league posted
through his one phone call.
One phone call. He's like, I need a press statement here. But hey, I mean, he took ownership, and I mean, it was
I mean, what else can he do?
But it was
I
like,
wasn't
hey,
driving.
It was like, hey, I screwed up. I need to hold myself to a higher standard. I need to be a better person, a better role model, and I hope to be given the opportunity to do that. So it was something along those lines. I mean, it was what to expect, but I mean, it was still you always gotta like when someone takes ownership. It was like, oh well, no, I had one drink, but my body produces its own alcohol, so I'm always drunk.
What the heck?
I've never heard
that before.
There's some actual statements that like people like break down, like carbs or whatever or something, and it actually like ferments in their body and raises their blood alcohol. I forget what it's called. But
some kind of Grey's Anatomy shit you're talking about. I'm pretty sure I heard that in a Grey's Anatomy show. I'm like about 100% sure.
I mean, I guess they got a good coach going right now. Todd Haley is a great coach. I mean, he got experience. I think he coached what they say the Memphis Showboats or something like that. So
he wasn't the coach for the Showboats
or OC.
Yeah, I think he may have been on the squad. I think one of the coordinators. Obviously, he coached in the NFL. He was for the Chiefs. He's been around forever. I mean, now
he was a head coach for
the guy's starting to look more like Rod Ryan than Todd Haley when we saw him 5 years ago. But
yeah, it say he was a head coach for the Showboat, so.
Do you want to show?
He got the experience. Go ahead.
Do you want me to show the little clip here of the game too? That because we do have to talk about a piece because BD was like very, very upset about this one play. And look, I'm streaming this off of YouTube. This is not. I'm streaming. Somebody else put this online. I'm just
copyright.
Not on me, on them. Not on me, on them. Okay. Just tell me when to pause it, so that way let me put y'all in the background there. This is a little play that got BD all riled up, y'all.
Ward Jr.
Oops. Oops.
down to the bottom of your
What in the world?
screen. Whatever route he's
Okay.
running,
it.
Rick Neuheisel wanted him specifically to run it.
It'd be an option route to Ward.
Yeah.
Ward looks back at his quarterback, Austin Reed. The hand signal. Reed looking the other way. Flings it, and the pass is incomplete. Vaughns thought it was clean. It hit the turf, and the ruling is incomplete, and that is enormous.
All right.
DJ Miller in coverage.
It's 0. We're going to be hot.
I mean, it does not look like that ball ever touches the ground. Looked like he had his hands under it. It was there in his elbows.
I think it like the bouncy part is what they may have been looking at.
What was the
Because it
ruling?
does
The
kinda-
ruling?
The ruling was incomplete. It was reviewed, and they upheld it. I understand why they upheld it, but
Because it
I
moved
think it
when
was
he
a
turned
catch.
around.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking is. But he also didn't have a clear angle to even say. I think he only looked at two angles. He looked at that one and then one from behind, but the
there's
other
one from behind that you couldn't really see. And he
the
even
defender
in his
was back
review,
there.
he said, "I think it's a catch, but I don't have an angle to prove to me that it's a catch."
It's a catch.
No, it was a catch.
right.
But that's the rule of the game. If they call something and there's not irrefutable evidence to overturn the call, they're not going to overturn the call. So in that situation, if the referees did not see clear catch and possession, which I actually believe I saw the back of the football touching the ground with part of it hugged to his body.
But
which
the
would be
ball
an
is
incomplete
As long as he
allowed to
has
touch
control,
the
though.
ground.
He
The
has
ball's
control.
allowed to touch the ground on a
But
catch.
see,
You just can't use the ball. You just can't use the ground to assist with catching it. The ball's
Also
allowed to
Understood,
touch.
but that does not show possession. Here, where the hell's my football?
He had control though.
oh, he's gonna do a visual.
I
Okay,
don't see him going to the ground like that with the ball.
show me.
Hand me that football. That's not where it was.
That would be great if he caught
Right,
it.
it
That's
was
not where
right
it
here.
was.
It was right here.
No, it kind of bobbled.
The tip was down like this.
Yes.
like this.
Whoa.
Just
Whoa.
the tip.
God.
Oh,
Just the
God.
tip.
Pause.
Still a catch.
Come on, old
Still
guys.
could've been a
Pause,
Still
man.
a catch. I
Not
cannot. According to Blandino, it was not.
Okay, but that play did not piss me off as much
Was the
as
tip
the
in?
next
Was
one
the
did.
tip in?
what's the next one?
Do you have
What
the
was the
next
next
one
one?
or
What
I
was
think
the
it
next
was
one?
it was the very next play.
Oh, I already closed it down. You didn't tell
Oh
me
my
the
God.
next
Okay,
play.
so I believe it was the next play because it was the fourth down play. So it was kind of a similar, pass out to the same side, and it was a comeback route. Well, the defender grabs the receiver's jersey, and like as he comes back, pulls on him. There's a tug of the jersey, and they call it a complete pass. Neuheisel challenges it, and Blandino comes in, reviews it, and was like, "Oh yeah, there's a little bit of a hold, but it's not,
man, I'm
not
crying.
whatever."
So Blandino said that hold was not enough to affect
Oh
the
my
outcome of the
goodness.
play.
Not yeah, it wasn't whatever term they use, I forget. Like it was the guy got literally
Jesse
got
has a question.
held and pulled.
Jesse has
on
a
a comeback.
question. BD.
Do what?
Jesse has a question.
We want to see another visual, please.
No, I'm good. It's the only one y'all get. Y'all have to use that one.
Uh,
Just think
Could
about
be
it.
a
Just keep
meme.
it in mind. Just
he's
keep it in
already
mind.
making a meme of it. You're a meme.
Please clip that. Cause they over here arguing about a tip, man.
But no, they reviewed it, said it was no pass interference, which is another stupid bullcrap call. And my favorite thing about that whole interaction was Neuheisel like basically throwing the challenge flag back to the rest. Is like, well, I don't need this.
Well, it's good. I'm
What
glad
about-
you did that.
What about the flag that was on the sky cam?
That was funny.
The first in history.
I wanted a view from the sky cam of that flag coming up. and
Yeah,
landing
like
on it.
shaking. Look, that was wild. So, okay, now our last game, which I had to tell you because I was at the movies because you were already in the chat. I'm like, I'm at the movies. And when I got out of the movies and it was like already at the fourth 2 minutes and I saw the score, I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But let's talk about it because, come on, Jay Will, you're welcome. St. Louis, pick six right away.
The second play of the game,
beautiful
for Birmingham, and yeah, dude, just a nice read by
it's beautiful.
Our boy Jay Will, and dude, I mean, nobody touched him in the end zone. It was fantastic. So it was a great play by him. Yeah, it was cool to watch it. I always like it when they get interviewed. People get interviewed on the sidelines and stuff. So they were talking to him, and he was just like, "Yeah,
gasping for air."
Yeah, I saw it. I just ran. I'm like, he ran like 5 yards. I mean,
yeah.
But
I mean,
this is a great play. But after that, the only time St. Louis was getting points was because of Birmingham turnovers. I mean, Corral could not freaking throw the ball to his own team.
Crazy. It was crazy.
And dude, Silvers.
I'm about to say, why did he get
terrible?
Terrible. He
was hot garbage.
He was terrible, dude. It was bad.
I wish I could pull up the clip I said earlier about Silvers. What was that first episode?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we talked about it episode 1. He's washed, and I think dude. I will say, they pulled Silvers like I think the last drive of the half, and it was like I don't know 40 seconds left, so all they were doing was handing it off. But the first half is when Frost came in and actually started playing. Dude, his first 2 passes got intercepted. So and that's when I was like, bro, St. Louis just needs to trade for Luis Perez because obviously Dallas don't need him. Yeah. So, but I mean, I think Frost just, I don't know, call it nerves, call it, just had to get, kind of used to the game or something. But man, dude came back with a vengeance and played a fantastic game after that.
Yeah, that was crazy. I saw the end of it. I didn't get to watch. Man, life of a coach, man. I didn't get to watch. That's why I only have a little bit to say about Columbus and Dallas. Cause I didn't watch that game at all, and I didn't even get a chance to watch the recap. But I just was hearing about and seeing all the.
But he was arguing with me the whole day yesterday about it.
I mean, I'm gonna stand on that part though. But yeah. So
let's get into it.
I watched the end of the Battlehawks and Birmingham game, and it looked like it was a good game.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it kind of early in the fourth quarter, it just looked like Birmingham was going to run away with it. I mean, they got up to a 10-point lead, and then the Battlehawks came down, scored another touchdown, and then Birmingham right back 60-yard touchdown. You're like, all right, here we go.
Yeah, Hakeem. I was like, oh my god,
dude, Hakeem, two big plays. I think at some point, I think they said he had 3 catches for like 130 something yards or whatever. It was crazy. But yeah, I mean, Hakeem, dude, he bailed out and balled out and bailed out Frost. I guess what do you do if you have nerves? Throw it up to your big ass freaking receiver who can
the tallest guy,
a foot taller than the guy that's trying to guard him. So
yeah. Well, let me show this because this is the league's current standings.
I can't believe it. I'm not picking Louisville no more. I'm not
Look.
picking them no more. They had
they
to
were-
prove
and
me.
they-
I
were your
would.
team
They
going in,
did
man.
so
They
good, though.
They did. I was like, that was just. I thought that was gonna be their week, but
They
I was just like,
really,
man.
they really did do good, and I just felt terrible. Like, oh man, to lose that way, like.
Oh, what do we think about St. Louis attendance? Y'all hear about that?
No,
I think
what did you
About
hear?
10,000 less than what it was last year
Yeah,
under
they
the
had like 20K.
exact same circumstances.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Oh,
think-
you
I think-
said it right, Brian.
With all this stuff going on. Oh, that sounds like San Antonio and Fiesta. Like, okay.
No.
Yeah,
No.
but yeah, I mean, people were complaining.
It's-
Oh, well, there's the Masters going on. Oh, there's the St. Louis game going on. Oh, there's this. Well,
Oh, Red Sox in town.
yeah, whatever. And somebody was like, okay, look at this week right here. The Masters was on. St. Louis was playing at the exact same time. The Cardinals was playing, and you still had 30,000 last year versus 20,000 this year. So
It's St. Louis being St. Louis. Now, I will say for the health of the league, losing 10,000 fans from your biggest fan base is probably something to take notice of and try and figure out why and what you can do to get those butts back in seats. That 20,000, most of which were probably the season ticket holders. I doubt there's very many season ticket holders that missed that game, but the other 10,000, the 1 game, 2 game type fans, and that's a huge chunk, right? You lost a third of your fan base because something else was more important than watching the St. Louis Battlehawks, which I would agree that there's anything more important than watching the St. Louis Battlehawks. However, losing a big chunk like that, especially when the league relies on that fan base as much as they do, because they pull more fans than 4 teams combined, or they pull more fans than 4 teams combined. That's a big deal. So I'm very interested to see how Rapoli is going to address that and call out the St. Louis fan base, or if he even does.
I hope he does, because he did it to Orlando. He
Yeah.
said he was not happy with how
he
the
did it to
turnout
Orlando
was.
week 1.
Yeah. So, well, let's get into our power rankings.
You mean BD's power rankings?
You mean the correct power rankings?
I'm not even going to argue because I already conceded. I said I gave DJ the Orlando Storm win. I said, you were right, you win. I'm out. You win by default, whatever. 2 penalties on me. But this is our current rankings. BD is usually the first one to throw out his idea of the rankings of what he believes, and we kind of all just kind of start arguing there. Yeah, he's always the first one to hop right on it, and then we just kind of start putting our input and then arguing. And DJ and I went back and forth yesterday.
What does the other people power rankings look like? I forgot their name. AFN is it AFN? My bad. I'm sorry.
AFP, Alternative
AFL?
Football Panel.
Okay, what does theirs look like?
They're the panel. I don't even know.
I don't know if
let
they've
me
released
look.
it. I know their show's tomorrow, so I don't know if if they release it before.
Yeah, I think they might have do it, but they might do it at the show.
I've seen a lot of power rankings that still have Dallas as number 1, which I mean, I agree. I don't agree, but I understand.
You heard he said I agree first.
I
Jackie,
halfway.
we're not doing this again. We're not doing this again.
I halfway misspoke, and I just pulled it back.
Yeah, right.
I understand why. If you've had Dallas, all year, they haven't lost yet. I just think these last 2 weeks, DC has been, absolutely amazing. Like I think that we had DC number 1.
The teams they played.
And then
the teams they played.
The same team that put 17 on Dallas, right?
It don't matter. You guys won against them, and so did Dallas. You were talking about the 2 worst teams at the bottom 3. And we're gonna argue right now. Look, I'll say it once we get more into it, and they play more of the people that are underneath them. Once they start playing Orlando.
Thank you,
Storm,
Brahma, babe. Maybe you listen to your friend. Are you going to disrespect your friend right now?
Gamblers suck.
Are you going to disrespect your friend right now?
They are number 8. They are number 8 right now. for a reason.
Yep.
They're at the
Renee,
bottom of
I
the
had
barrel
DC
because they
number
suck.
one, just so you know.
So you know what?
Mhm.
I would say, yeah, they should dominate number 8. Number 8 is what
The
we're talking
same
about.
team that put 17 on y'all.
Dallas didn't dominate.
They put 7 on
Number
you.
8.
It doesn't matter if they dominated. It's still, they're still beating teams that are in our lower 3.
Birmingham
care, but,
didn't
like-
dominate number 8. So
I didn't
She
say
said
that.
we're not
I'm
talking about.
We talking about DC and Dallas.
I
That's
said-
what we're
she
arguing
said-
about. Who's
she
number
said
1?
we
I'm not
talking
talking about
about-
Birmingham.
No, she said we talking about the bottom 3 teams. I said,
Anywho.
okay, Houston is one of the bottom 3
No,
teams
no.
that beat the Birmingham
What I-
Stallions. I said, so what are we saying about that?
Lord. Because I'm not talking. So I'm talking about our 2
So only
teams
when
that
it's
we're
convenient
arguing
you want to talk
against.
about Houston.
No. Because those other teams don't matter. They're down there under belief. We're talking about DC and
But it
Dallas.
matters when you talk
and
about
they
power
have played.
rankings, though.
They played our bottom 3 already.
let me ask you
They
this,
played
Jackie.
the bottom 3.
DC and Dallas play. If the DC and Dallas play next week, who do you have? Who do you think wins that game?
Look at the camera. Look at the camera.
Dallas.
Dallas?
I will
I
pick
think
Dallas.
I think DC wins. What if they play
Dominate.
next week?
But
think
I
DC
also
wins.
think it's going to depend on where they play also. So
Well, it better not be in DC because you definitely gonna get dominated.
Why?
exactly. I think
Nobody
so.
come to Dallas. 5,000
Because the Dallas crowd, the Dallas crowd's terrible.
away game. That's a home game for DC.
Well, you know
technically.
what? We'll see when, and you know what? If I'm wrong, I will say I'm wrong when it happens, but it has not happened yet. So
Renee, they
Anyway.
ain't feel that. They ain't feel that DC crowd like.
So we got
felt that
week
DC
6.
crowd.
Week
That's all I'm
6 we
saying.
find out. That's when they play each other in DC.
there we go, and that's when it's going to matter to me.
Yeah. But like I said, I mean, I think as good as DC's looked these last 2
They
weeks,
rolling.
you know, that's I that's why I had them as my first team.
They
So,
rolling. And I will say this. Now, the first game against the Battlehawks, cool. We get and I said this before. We dusting the shoes off, getting the rust out the.
That was
You
no
know,
dust and
all
shoes
it, all
off.
it, we all in it. Yeah, it wasn't even the high score. It was what 10 and 16.
yeah.
That's not a crazy game. DC
a
has been putting
terrible
up
game.
40 plus points the last 2 games.
Against terrible teams
Okay, hold on. Let's look at
is
this
what
too.
I'm trying to get at.
Nah, let's look at this too. Because one thing
We
we
ain't got all
wasn't
the time
talking
in the world
about,
to talk about this.
we was talking about points for and points against. DC has 99 points for, 49 points against. Dallas has 95 points for and 55 points against.
Hey, DJ won. He's right. It sucks to win that way, right?
You probably just looking
To
at
get
the record.
Orlando
Yeah,
started.
Dallas 3-0. Great. I got you. Dallas is 3-0. Yeah.
That's not what it's about.
That
Let's
won't
talk about
last.
week 4.
They you know. We'll see.
Now he's reeling it back.
We'll
Reeling
see
it
what
back.
we for.
Anywho, week 4. Here's what we
Dang,
got.
DJ.
Please tell
I
me.
know. I told you I'm not picking
What?
Louisville no more.
I gotta
Dang.
prove to you.
Turn
They
your
gotta
prove
back.
to me.
Turn your back.
I
on
couldn't
it,
pick. I've been picking them by myself, and they've been losing, so I'm not picking them right now.
Lies. I picked them last time too.
Not last week.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you were the only.
That
Yeah,
was the only I was solo about
we
last week. I was
all.
solo last week.
No, the
I
only
was.
person
I was the
that,
only one that picked
that
Louisville
messed
last week.
up everything. No, the only person that messed up everything was Jay. Jay was the only one that had a perfect score last week.
Yep.
We
No,
all
I'm
had the
saying-
same picks.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Y'all
We were all the
picked
same.
Orlando. Y'all picked Orlando. I picked Louisville last week.
No. You did pick Orlando. You picked Orlando.
Last week I picked
Orlando
serious?
over Louisville. You picked Orlando
Are you
because
serious?
we all had
sure
we
did.
all had
We
the
were
exact
all
same
the same.
picks except for
Except for
St.
Jay
Louis
on the last
Birmingham.
game.
And Jay was the only one that picked St.
Oh,
Louis.
Yeah. Thank you.
My bad.
Thank you.
My bad.
That's why I'm like,
I was
man.
crashing out. I'm like, hold up, I'm crashing out. All right, yeah, okay, cool. All right, so yes, I'll be the only one pick Houston this week. Yes, even though I talk so much junk about them, but I don't know what Louisville. They just got to.
Louisville.
They haven't
I mean,
dominated though. Like they haven't
But who's going to
separated
quarterback for
themselves.
Houston? I
I
mean,
thought you
you
were talking
got
about me.
you got concussion brother,
No.
or you got
I think Nolan is coming back. Nolan should be
Castronova.
coming back.
is Castronova actually going to play?
I think Nolan Henderson is coming back.
They weren't good with him, so yeah.
But Louisville just been losing games for themselves.
If they don't put Castronova in, you can count them out for the rest of the season.
I don't know. We haven't seen Castronova on anything but a 50-yard field in a long, long time. So we can't say that he'd be the game changer just yet. I'd like to see. I'd be curious to see what he does on a regulation field. But
I think he gives them the best chance to actually get a win this season out of all the quarterbacks that they have.
Long Tagovailoa don't play.
Well,
he is not garbage.
If it was his brother playing, he wouldn't know if he was actually playing. So
you could tell their brother.
So I struggled a little bit with this next pick, just because it was so close, and I mean we kind of saw that the week before because we had Orlando and Louisville played each other back-to-back weeks. Orlando kind of blew them out the first week. The next week was a lot closer. Well, this one, Dallas and Columbus, it wasn't a blowout. So, does Columbus learn something and, put up a better fight and maybe actually come out with a win? I almost picked this as an upset.
It would be safe to look at it from that angle, 100%. I mean, it's not that Columbus is necessarily that bad of a team. They're just not.
They're not put together
on all cylinders yet.
Yeah.
So
they haven't clicked yet. I want to see when. I'm hoping that they will click, like that. We'll be able to see it happen. Like they figure it out.
Well,
and I think a lot of it is. I mean, obviously, Ted Ginn, he's first year coach. He never had any coaching experience. So yeah, you've got Todd Haley. You've got
and he still does it.
Yep.
Yeah, still does it. But I mean, coaching is a big, big thing, especially in a league like this. So,
yep. Ask AJ.
Yeah.
So,
look at that.
All taken DC. Wow.
Yeah, I think. I mean, and
I almost chose Battlehawks. I'm just kidding. I just wanted to see what
you know. What on a Dallas and Columbus game, I wouldn't be mad if we
already
all
passed
lose.
that.
Nope, I wouldn't be mad if we all lose.
He just wants to prove a point to me.
I just want
That's
them
it.
to lose.
You know what? I hope Jay will pick six all day. I'm gonna go ahead and message him and tell him right now. Look, I need you to pump up I need you to pump up them dang battle tickets, please, because I got a point to prove at this point.
Jackie, Ty Haley.
I agree with what Rick's saying.
On the way.
Oh Lord.
I
feel the same. I feel the same.
It's all on Bean. It's all on Bean. It depends on how he plays. But when he threw that
last
pass, it's a double coverage at the end of the game to lose the game. Like, bro, get the ball down the field, dink and dunk. Come on, like, why would you do that?
All Bean dip.
All Bean dip. Yeah.
That's all frijoles. You just don't got it.
Yep.
Here's where we split up, y'all.
Ooh.
It's gonna be interesting.
Come on, BD, man. You gotta chill, man. You keep following all my you could tell me and Brian no ball,
All right. So
did you get a perfect week? Yeah, I think Jay has been the only one that's gotten, I think, a perfect week.
His last week. We all can agree. That was lucky. The Battlehawks game.
I am curious, Jackie Jay, why y'all picked Birmingham over. Orlando over Birmingham.
Orlando. Well, I told you kind of because I even said the same thing to him. So once BD sent me his pick, I sent him a snapshot of my picks because initially he didn't have Birmingham. He had Orlando. And then I started talking to him because I felt the same way. And I was saying, I just don't know, like, they lost this last one. I feel like maybe they're going to he really needs to show up. Not only that, but it's his old coach. Like, I don't know.
I did.
I don't know. I think he has a chip on his shoulder.
We had Orlando, and then right as I said the pick, I'm like, man, I don't know. I'm not sure about that Birmingham. I think I might change it to Birmingham. And then I thought about it for a little bit, and I decided no, I'm changing it. I just, Birmingham's a good team. they've played like crap at the last 2 weeks, but they've shown flashes of being a great team.
Yeah.
And Orlando's a really good team, but I think this is kind of going to be one of those, hey, Birmingham is a team that they have to get this win, and they'll go out there, they'll fight, and they'll get the win. That's kind of where I came from for that pick.
Well, here's the scores. Like Jay boosted up there once he got his perfect week. He surpassed you, DJ.
That battle horse,
Dang.
man.
I can't wait till next week when I leave y'all behind.
Yeah, you be saying that
But
for
yeah,
the
that's
season.
the scores right now. Look, I'm doing much better than I did before because I ain't running off emotion. Give me some grace here.
Oh,
bro.
because the Brahmas not here.
Yeah,
Y'all can't all pick the Brahmas.
yeah, exactly. It was just we were biased, regardless that we knew we could possibly lose. We were still picking them. So now it's as a orphaned fan of just the UFL now and just watching the games. It's just a whole different experience, I guess. So I'm a little bit more open-minded to pick the team. Sometimes I feel like I'm picking off emotion. I gotta reel it back. That's just the girl in me. Like, no, I hate you, Birmingham. I hate you, St. Louis. So, yeah. So I'm excited for this upcoming weekend. I just feel like it has been getting the game playing has just been getting a little bit better and better every weekend. And
Yeah.
This past weekend was a good weekend of football. So I'm excited to see what they do this coming weekend.
I mean, yeah, it was 3 really close games, and Houston just got dog walked. So it was a great weekend of football.
Because F Houston, that's all I'm saying.
Got chopped Stewie.
Oh, that's what that was. It.
He said about to be
He's
4.
talking about.
Yeah, he probably with Dallas.
Yeah, that's.
So Haley masterclass. If he lose, if Dallas lose, I think obviously all of us pick Dallas, but if they lose, we all good. It don't matter.
No.
Nobody wins, nobody loses, right? Well, everybody loses, but nobody wins.
You are terrible, bro. Seriously. Wait till this is over and I get in the chat.
I do like Austin Reed though. I like how he's playing. He's
dude. He's he has really been impressive.
Opportunity.
Yeah. I mean,
Heck yeah.
I think a lot of were like, man, what's this guy starting over
Luis Perez? Yeah.
Perez for? Yeah. Like, I mean, the king of
Good
spring
choice.
and all that. Just kind of curious. And then, I mean, from that first game on, the dude's been lights out. It's been amazing to watch him play.
Yeah.
And I mean, it gets to be a little much sometimes, but I love listening to him when they've got him mic'd up because that kid is so ADD. It's hilarious.
Leave us ADHDers alone.
Hey, you know what?
So hard. This brain is just going.
Yeah, I am too. I am too. So I get it. But I mean, what was it last week that he'd yell at one of the players for like, "What are you doing?" Whatever. Get pissed off at him, and then, "Hey man, I'm sorry. I shouldn't yell at you like that."
Yeah. He's such an empath. That's literally would be me. I'd be like yelling, be like, "I'm sorry," but don't do that again.
Yeah.
Well, we could go ahead and wrap up. Thank you guys for joining us today. Don't forget to catch tomorrow. Y'all got a special guest tomorrow, Texas Talking Football. For those of you that are checking out the new league coming up, who you guys going to have on tomorrow?
We are going to have Will Arndt, veteran quarterback for the San Antonio Toros. This is a gentleman who has been around a little while, has played the game, understands the game, and almost has an energy level that matches me. Not quite, but really darn close. And we actually talked to him already once when we were at the Smokey Mo's event. Yep. So he's familiar with the show. He's super excited to be on tomorrow. So, guys, make sure you tune in tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central. For you un-Americans, that would be 9 p.m., right, DJ?
Those living in the future.
Yeah. there's I don't want to reveal the whole hand, but we're going to be having a lot more guests coming on as well. And so definitely for all things Continental Football League, make sure you tune in to Texans Talking Football, because there's just so much going on with that. And it's going to be a fun time. I promise you.
Absolutely.
But let's wrap it up.
Awesome. Okay. See you guys next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Shields up.